Then I'm not gonna be on the screen.
Hello, everyone. We like to take a few minutes in the beginning and share. Kirsten is back with us. Hello.
I'm here.
Tell you why. See, when I get that our intro video, don't
Okay,
nobody so nobody ever gets to see it. What's the point? Is it just for us?
maybe. I
Okay.
guess. I don't know. We gonna figure all that out.
Oh,
Hello,
y'all.
hello, everybody. Come on, girl. Don't act like this in front of the people. Don't embarrass me in front of the people. You get in
Let
place
me share.
and you stay there. Me too. Good evening. Come on in, everybody. Look, I'm out of breath. Can't breathe. But tonight, Candace, is the night. I'm
I'm out of
excited.
breath.
I'm excited, but shaking in my boots at the same time. Why though? This is dumb.
It's
Why?
crazy that life has gotten us to a point to believe that we just are not supposed to talk about certain things and that we're not supposed to explore certain things. And that is crazy to me.
But guess what?
So
It's happening today. It's gonna
it's
happen tonight,
it's
right
happening
here,
on tonight.
right
It's gonna happen
here
on tonight.
on Conversation. That's what this is for, right?
Yeah, this is what this is for.
This is
So
why we started it, so we can talk about stuff that people don't be wanting to talk about, or afraid, or Graceland. Hey, girl,
hi, my Gracie.
talking about stuff that people don't
We
want to talk
grown, and I be want to
about.
call her Gracie Poo. Hi, my Gracie Poo.
She's
I be want to say
Graceland
that she's grown. You're grown. I can't
Graceland
say that to you.
Junior. Okay,
Okay.
hold on, wait. We waiting for me. Look at me stalling, girl. Look at me stalling.
She's stalling. But
I'm
while she's doing
stalling.
that, because I don't want to drag this, because we need our full hour. I don't want
Okay.
to drag it on. I'm going to start with a question. We were asked a question because tonight we are talking about beliefs and what is it that you believe in. Someone asked, how do you know that what you believe is right? And do you believe it because that's what your parents taught you, or is there another reason for your beliefs? And I'll start to buy you a little bit more time.
Oh, she's
Well, first of all, that's why we're here discussing. I don't know that everything that I believe is right. That's why I want to have a conversation about it tonight. Um, I am everything that I have believed up until this point, or I'll say not this very point, but it has been going on for some time, has been what I was taught, has been what my mama said or the other adults around me have said and what the pastors have said and the church people have said. It has been that. But now in my life, now that I'm grown, I've bumped into some other things that I am currently exploring and researching and seeing how I feel about it. And I'm getting into it like that. So I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm only wanting to have a conversation in hopes that somebody here may have a different point of view or a different perspective that I didn't consider. And we'd like to consider it. So what say you, kid?
Oh, I'm way past what I was taught and what my mama said and all of that. I think it comes a point where your beliefs get tested and it's like, what is happening? Like, this doesn't even feel right. Like, your faith starts to kind of just feel like I have nothing to hold on to right now because this feels so unreal. And that's when you get to that point, you
Yeah.
have to find it out for yourself. You cannot go by somebody's word of mouth. You got to
No.
get in that thing. You got to study it. You have to research. You have to find it out for yourself. So if people out here, adult, still holding on to what your mom and them said, it's time out for that.
It's time out
for
for that.
that.
Yeah.
You have to know what you believe only because it's what you believe, not because somebody told you to believe in it, not because I guess it's all right because this is cool because it's what I've been doing, or that's not that no more. You have to know what it is and why it is.
And you can't be afraid.
That's the part right there.
Because I think sometimes people are afraid to venture out from what they've been taught. And I don't know what the fear is. Maybe the fear of stumbling up on something obviously different. I think sometimes people think, everything has been demonized. Oh, that's of the devil, so then you're not going to look into that. It's a lot of fear that holds people back from stepping outside of everything they've been taught growing up.
I think sometimes it can be embarrassing too, because you've held on for something for so long, and then to find out that, wait a minute, and it's like, well, do I still do this or not? Because if all the people I know are still doing this, so if I go against what we've been doing, like this,
they're gonna be looking at me.
They're gonna be looking at me. That's embarrassing. No, I'll be like, no, I'm still doing it. I'm still with y'all. I'm still gonna do it just because, y'all. It's not okay no more.
It's not okay
no more.
Yeah.
And tonight. We gonna talk about fear of rejection. Because you say something different or opposite of what somebody else believes.
They reject it.
They reject you, and you immediately in an argument. That be the part right there. Now we can argue.
Now we arguing, and then now you're arguing about something that you really don't even know. It was what your mama said. That don't, because your mama said it don't mean you know it to be true, and you're ready to argue with me and reject what I'm trying to say because I have been searching it on my own. Right. So we're going to get in that tonight, and we're just going to jump right in it. There's no rhyme nor reason. There's probably going to be a few parts to this because there's no way we can touch on it all tonight. But we're going to just jump right in it. And the first question, and these are all questions. So if you have questions in the comments, please ask your questions, ask us questions, and we may not know, but we're going to all just chat about it.
I am not a seminary scholar.
None of
that.
I
did not go to any of the biblical schools and such. No. And all of that.
I rarely even read the Bible that much anymore. So I'm not getting ready to sit here and pretend. Not that I don't believe in the Bible. I just don't read it that often anymore because I grew up reading that. So I wanted to read, other things. But so I'm not sitting here pretending to know or have the answers. I just want to talk about it and see what we all come up with.
And also, these are conversations that Candace and I have with each other
that we're having with you. This is what's happening.
That's what this is.
So here we go. So the first thing.
Wait. So on this flyer,
yes,
we decided to put different things on there because those things have been topics of discussion for a while. You see some aliens on there. You see white Jesus on there. You see black Jesus on there. I saw Ankh on there. What else was on there?
The Egyptian Sphinx and
all of those things. All of those things are a topic of discussion that it's that we're going to get into. So I just wanted to bring that up because the flyer was everything that I needed. Because it was like, that.
So y'all don't be afraid in the comments. Bring up your things. No, I can't hold you. What you need to say. So the first things first, and I don't know why this is the first question, but this is the first one we're going to go with. And Kirsten, I'm asking you first.
Yes.
First things first. Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do believe in God. Okay. Because I am a Bible believer.
And we're asking y'all this too in the comments. So say what you believe. Do you believe in God?
I am a Bible believer. I still believe in the Bible. I believe that I believe in God. I don't know how else to explain. Not because somebody told me that.
Yeah.
I believe in it because I believe in it. I found it to be true. Historically, it's true. I believe in God.
Yeah. Historically, when you say historically it's true, what do you mean?
I mean the Bible. I mean all the other findings that you can read and you can see in history where the existence is there. So yes, I believe in God. I believe God's a creator. God, I believe in God.
You believe in
Period.
God.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I absolutely believe, I have all my life believed in God. However, the twist of things now for me is that some people refer to it's a higher power. So some people and in other religions refer to this higher power, this as other names and other things. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I like to also refer to it as spirit or source. And also in my findings, I was on YouTube, and I'm going to get to the point. And before I say that, I want to say that also in my journey now, I believe that I am a God. I don't believe that when people say I'm a human being, I'm a human, I don't believe that I'm human. I believe that I am divine. I am a divine being. I am a goddess, having an earthly experience. And I'm going to say this. And what brought me to that is, and I'm not saying that I'm better than God. I'm not saying I am per se an equal to this higher power. I am saying if I'm created in its image and I am created from this source or this higher power or this God, then that makes me then too a God in myself. And I was on YouTube and I saw this lady. She was saying, she was Christian and everything. And she was just talking about how, if you want God to show himself in your life, you have to ask him. You have to ask God to show you who he is. So she said for 3 days, you ask God. This was her challenge. For 3 days, ask God who he is.
Mm-hmm.
The wording was, God, show me who you are. You have to say this for 3 days. You can say it as many times as you want in those 3 days, but show me who you are. And I did that because I was like, you know what? I'm at a place where I need to, this is what I've always believed, but I want to know it for myself. And so I did that for 3 days, for 3 days, for 3 days. And then as I'm just going out throughout my daily life, I'm seeing other things come on YouTube. I'm hearing other people speak. I'm reading other things. And the whole time, it's about this other stuff. It's about how the Black woman is God, and how the Black woman was the very first species ever here on Earth. And these are the things that are coming to me. And by the end of day 3, and I'm looking around, I was like, I don't know if he showed me. Did he give me a sign? And then I'm trying to retrack, like, did I get a sign? And the whole time it clicked to me. The whole time I'm seeing everything that it boils back and it reverses back to yourself. The whole time when I was asking God to show me, I was being shown myself. And that is my experience, and that is what I feel. And I don't feel that I'm more than at all, but I don't feel like this helpless human who's just on earth here, born in sin to live and then eventually die. I don't believe that. I don't feel helpless. I do believe I hold powers within myself to heal and to speak life and to do all these things that we are told, even in the Bible, that we can do.
I'm about to pause you.
Yeah.
Because I got 2 questions.
Yeah.
The first question is, how do you know that that was God who gave you that confirmation?
Who else would it have been?
Who else wouldn't it be? The enemy. Because you made that request to God to say, reveal yourself to me, and the enemy knows, like, oh, this is what she's trying to do. She's trying to get close to him. That's not happening. How do you know that confirmation was of God?
Because I believe that I was speaking to him, and I don't feel like God is an author of confusion. Okay. And so then that even further puts me in a place of, if I'm asking you something, but you allow this enemy, this devil, to step in and take your place of speaking to me instead of you being the one. And then this is now, and you know for a fact that this is what I heard and this is what came to me. So this is what I'm running with. If you, as God and somebody who created me and loves me, and if that's what you're going to let me run with, then who's to be blamed? Not me.
I just think sometimes we just have to we just gotta be careful. And if that was your confirmation, that was your confirmation.
That's my confirmation.
I can't argue
No,
with your
yeah, no,
confirmation.
we're not
at
arguing.
all.
We're not arguing.
But
But that's my
I
confirmation.
do think sometimes we have to be careful. That's just
So
me.
when do you ever know? If you're always being careful of, well, I don't know if it's, when are you ever sure? When are you going to be sure to say it has to be handed to you on peaches and cream and what your
No.
mom and them always said or what the Bible always said in order for it to be
Mhm.
accepted, in order for it to be the right thing? Like, when do you, and at the end of the day, I believe that can't no book, no man, no person, no woman, boy or girl
Mhm.
tell me anything. At the end of the day, I revert back to nature and with myself. The answers come within. I feel like I'm spoken to divinely, and I'm given insight that way within myself. And that's how I choose to live my life now. I
So
don't
let's go
listen
backwards
to
again. I want to go backwards
everything.
again.
I'm not listening to everything outside of myself. I reference it, but then I go back to my within to
Mhm.
then make the decision.
I want to go backwards
Yeah.
to the I am a God
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those pieces that I just don't get. Only
Mhm.
because I just feel like, and I think I've said this before, and I still don't, it's just, if I'm made in his image, I'm made in my mama's image, I'm made in my
Mhm.
daddy's image, but I am not my mama or my daddy.
Mhm.
Now, I'm made in his likeness, yes,
Mhm.
but I am not him or I'm not her. So that
Mhm.
part for me is just like, I don't
But
get
do you
that.
not have similarities of your mom? Do you not, people
Absolutely.
like, you sound just like your mama, or that this you
Yes.
do that, that's just like your, it's the same thing. It is the
It's
same
not the
thing.
same
When we
thing
were
because
created,
I do have those things, but I'm still not her. There are
and
still
nobody's
things
saying,
that she does that
I said I am a God. I
I
never
don't
said I
do.
was that source. I never said I was that one. I said I am one too. If you think about Zeus, if you think about
Hercules was
all
a
Hercules and
demigod.
all of that,
They
but that's
called him a
because
demigod
he was a demigod. Why though?
because he wasn't his father. And
That's
because
not
he was
why.
human,
That's not
and
why. He was
because he
part
was
human.
human and
He was part human and he was
right,
part God. That's what made
right,
him a demigod.
right.
However, he was still a God. Perseus, or whatever his name is, like,
Mhm.
there's still a God, but within his own right. He had his own powers. He had his own name. He had his own mission in life. He had his own things. But at the end of the day, he was still a God because his father was. He was not his dad. Nobody was running around calling him Poseidon or whoever his father was. Nobody was going around like, oh, that's who you are. No, it's, we know who your father is, and because he's your father, you are a God in your own right too. You
But
have
let me
your
say
own
this.
gifts, your own things, your own
What
this
I
and that.
can agree
I'm not
with.
saying I'm him, but I am saying because I come from that, I have my own God, God within myself too. Period.
So the other part I wanted to address was
Yeah.
us having powers.
Yeah.
I can agree with this, Candace.
You
I'm
can,
not I can agree with that. But
but you're
for
not a God.
me, the
You're just a regular
power
human
comes
being with power.
from the source.
Okay.
So if I'm connected to the source,
Okay.
then I too then have power. So I
Okay.
can agree with that.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
agree with that, but I myself, because I am not the source, my power comes from God.
Yeah.
So if
And you
he's
come from God.
exactly
Okay, so then that means because you come from him, that makes you
right
also a God. Are you able to create and destroy life? Are you able to do that?
now,
Are you able to do that? Yes or no?
create and create.
Can you
So
create life?
first, let me say this: if we're talking about giving birth, because
Mm-hmm.
when I hear you say create life, I think of giving birth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did not create the baby that is inside of me.
What did you do then?
I did not put the sperm and the egg, and I'm not doing all that inside of me. I
See,
am not
right?
physically doing that.
Yeah.
God did that. I'm carrying it and I'm helping to nourish it, but that's because God has designed all of that. I didn't design it.
He may have designed, and I think that's the point that I'm getting to, is that I
Okay.
think in this life And church Christianity makes you less than. It puts us here and makes us feel as though we are these itty bitty people with no abilities, no nothing. And then we give our power away to, we have been taught and trained to give the very power that you hold and possess within you, that was given to you, that was God given to you. And you give it back like, yeah, but I ain't got. But the whole time it's like, I blessed you with that. It's yours. It's your gift. It's your ability to be able to create and carry. Your womb does all of that, creates it. When y'all come together, you're creating this and you're birthing it and you're bringing it into life, just the same as you could take something and go slice somebody's throat and take their life away. Was that God who did that too then? No, it is with your own self. Somebody? Absolutely. It is with your own self in your own hands that you're able to go up and do that. And that is the definition of being a God, the ability to create and destroy life. And then how can you say, oh, I believe I got the powers because it came, because it came from God. But in the same breath, you can't say, well, I also come from him, which also makes me a version of a God myself. Like, it's like you can't accept one without the other. And I think Christianity has made us afraid to, because it says like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, or I'm trying to be better than or bigger than God. Nobody said you were trying to do that. Hercules ain't running around trying to outdo his daddy. He know that's his daddy, and that's just is what it is, but he's a God too. Yeah.
This is my other question. I don't know. Wait, I thought I had a question. Because I be trying to catch the stuff when you say it.
Yeah.
I need to be taking down notes so I can
get your book. Get your book.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Get your book.
What's the But yeah, I was the question at the top of the hour was, do you believe in God? And we said yes.
We said yes. And then my extension to that was the new piece of it is, I also believe that I am a goddess and that I'm a God who possesses and holds power. I do not feel small and weak and like I don't have the ability, like I have to wait for somebody to fix or do or X, Y, and Z. I feel like that power was put in us. And then we have down the road been made to believe, to hand it back to something else and say, okay, you gave it to me to be able to survive in this life, but I'm gonna give it back because the Bible says I'm supposed to be able to do none of that. Well, then that's foolish, because you sit around crying and praying and looking, and the whole time it's like, I already gave you that. I gave you the power to be able to sustain life here, and y'all just, what are you doing?
How have the results been for you? Like, as far as not just creating, but doing things for yourself without God being the resource. Does that question make sense?
Well, I never said he wasn't the reason. God, that, and first of all, I don't even know that it's a he. That's first of all. But second of all, I've never said that there's not a source, or that there's not a spirit, or that something out there that divinely protects and helps and provides for me. I never said that. I did say that, though, I feel equipped with powers myself, and I don't feel
with those powers, I want to know, like, give me some things. I think we want to see stuff. We want tangible stuff.
People want tangible things.
So
absolutely.
With those powers that you as a God possess, I just want to know some of the stuff. Have you seen, what is your result? What is, like, with your powers, what have you done? That's what I want to know.
I'm here every single day, and I'm making it every single day throughout this life. I am not without struggle or without ailment or pain,
but
here's
my next question,
or any of that stuff. I'm not without that.
But wait, no. But if that's the case, and you're able to do these things on your own, why would you not be without ailments? Why would you not be without struggle?
Absolutely.
If these are things that you can manifest and do yourself, why would you let yourself suffer?
And I don't let myself suffer. I don't.
I mean, why would you
Now,
let yourself be sick or let yourself go through or let, anything happen to yourself?
things come up because, again, I am having an earthly experience. So I am not void to the things that happen in this life. However, I don't feel that my experiences are as bad or as lived in or just accepted as the next person. Again, these findings are fresh for me. My entire life, I have lived with this lesser than, I have no power type life. This is how I've lived, just like the next person. So these things I feel are something that you have to discover. You have to be fully open to and fully work on. Taylor, give it to him. And what do you want to say? Kind of come into a realization too. Hold on just a second. Give him a piece
Hi,
of
anybody that has just joined us. Of course, if you've seen the flyer, if you want to know what we're talking about, we're talking about beliefs. And our first question was, do you believe in God? And we're just having a conversation. This is what we do. We talking. We're just trying to get an understanding of where we are and, what it is. Because it just be some stuff we just don't know or we just don't understand. And, honey, two brains is better than one.
It's
so
better than one.
Together. And just chat about it. And you're more than welcome to come on in the comments and say how you feel about it. Say what you believe. You agree or disagree. This is the place for it. We are open. This is a no judgment zone. So you can come in here and say whatever it is you feel like. You can't be disrespectful though. No disrespect, but you can come in and share your experience or your ideas with us. We're open to it. So
absolutely.
Anywho.
So again, I just feel like for me, it takes the first step is realizing it. And that's what I have come to, the realization. And so now it's the reprogramming of the mind and understanding, because you can't do any of this stuff without believing it. And so because I've lived my life with so much mental blockage, so much this and that beat into me, or not literally beat, but, pounded into your brain. It's about reprogramming it and letting go of these, I'm going to say, mental bondages in order to access and awaken and open this power that lies dormant in you. So at this very moment is something that I am working on, and I feel like has been the very reason why I'm able to get through everything that I'm able to get through in my day-to-day life. I feel like it's why I'm thriving as much as I am, because of that. I'm not sitting around waiting for somebody or something to do it for me. I now realize that power is within me. So I need to exercise that power.
And I can agree, because faith without works is dead. You can't just have faith in something and not be working toward it.
Absolutely.
Period. Like, I don't know who made that up. Like, I'm just going to trust and sit here
and sit around and
wait for something to happen, because that's definitely not true. If you're not moving forward or trying to actively reach that goal, it can't happen, period. So I'm not.
I'm not taking full credit of anything. I do believe that there is something higher than me that assists and is there, but also is there trying to awaken in me the power that I hold within myself, and that we all hold, if you dare believe it. So that's how I feel about it. Yes. Right? Okay, so we got that.
Because I think I said that I agree. Because you see, this is what I want to say. Because you see people in church. I'm just gonna bring up church real quick.
Yeah.
And you see people in church praying for power from God. And they praying and praying and praying and praying and praying and praying, and nothing ever happens in that moment. But I was watching something else, and it explained it real good. It's like, you praying for this power, but you don't want God. You don't want to be connected to him. You just want the power, And it's like, I don't need you. Just give me the power. I don't want to be connected with you. I just want to do this so people can see that I got the power. And it's like, you have to be connected. For me, you have to be connected to the source in order to receive the power.
Yeah. And for me, the goal is not to disconnect from the source. It's to be fully connected, but also in my full divinity. I'm trying to find a way to describe it, but it's like you're not trying to disconnect yourself from something that it's like disconnecting yourself from your family or something. That's not the goal. Well, maybe that is for some people, but the goal is to not disconnect myself, but to establish and to awaken the full power within myself. It's like, you know, almost like dead weight. It's like, you know, what are you contributing? If you're sitting around thinking, oh, well, I'm helpless and I need y'all to come save me, then it's like, but you don't, because you have what it takes to get on here and help row this boat. And I know you're not going to sit in the back and just...
Who thinking that? Who?
No, I'm just trying to give an example of where it is that I feel.
Okay.
For me, accessing my own power and becoming awakened to that is not me trying to disconnect from the source that I get it from. It's about me wanting to be coming to a full realization of myself, my abilities, and my powers in something. So in this whole thing, it's just like me being connected and fully, but not as just this weak that's being dragged along on a train by God, and you just come on and being dragged. I don't feel like that's what I'm meant to be here to do. So that's what it is for me. My goal is not to disconnect, have power so I can do away with you. It's not that. It's to connect even more so that I can learn even more and see myself even more and be open even more to this source and who it is for myself, and not just what I grew up thinking God is. Because we had a talk. If you go by what they say and who God is supposed to be, then sometimes it's a bit contradictory, and sometimes it's a bit like, I don't want to serve that kind of God. So it's not based on how other people say he is, or whomever. It's to be connected in my own way, even more deeply, and to also from that draw the strength that's within me, because I don't believe that I'm weak or set apart from this source or this power. I don't believe that.
What's our next question? All right, that's the God part.
Just ain't take that. So the next one on here is with that. Then, if believer God or not, what are your thoughts on Jesus?
Go.
You want me to go first? Tell her I'm on the thing. Plug it up. So
I need somebody in the comments to say.
Yeah, because the comments they trying to see what we saying.
Y'all quiet tonight.
They quiet tonight.
Listen, this is a no judgment zone. Listen, this is a no judgment zone. What about Jesus? Not that white one.
Definitely not him.
Not that soft looking one. The real docile looking one. The one real pale looking like he want to cry all the time. You know the depiction they give us. Not him. But we gonna talk about him. We don't want to talk about him. We don't want to talk about him at all.
For me, so this one's a tricky one.
Okay.
Because I have not in my life come to. I teeter-totter back and forth by it, but it's more so about the story in it. Not maybe that whether or not this man existed before or walked the face of the earth.
So you don't believe the Trinity of it, because if you believe in God, then you believe in Jesus and you believe in Holy Spirit, because they're all three in one. They're one thing. It's the Trinity.
I don't know. And I'm going to be honest, I've never understood that.
Okay.
I've never understood this Trinity thing.
Okay.
It's never in my life have I understood this. I've never understood why, if you're God
Right.
Why did you need the other two? I've
Why,
never
why
understood
did
that.
you need Jesus to come down in human
Why do you
form,
need that?
to
Why do you
in
need that?
flesh?
Why do
Because
you need that?
because he's God. He's way big. Like he's okay. And this is
First
just
of
my
all,
belief.
because now because now it's getting there for me. I feel like, and again, I'm not saying he's not there. I'm not saying that. What I
You're not
do have is
saying-
questions.
Okay.
Why do you need that? If you're God, why do you need it? Why do you need that? Is what I'm asking.
Because God is so this is just my understanding.
Mhm.
The Bible told us, y'all can get me in the comments if you want to. But
Mhm.
because God is so big
Mhm.
and supernatural and just he's that. I don't even know how to explain him. He had to minimize himself
Mhm.
to become flesh
Mhm.
so that we could see and understand him in human form.
So basically, there's no 3 in 1. That was God whole time. Whole time that was you. And then so why you didn't?
That is 3
And
in
you
1.
just
It's
changed your
still
name.
one. It's still one person.
It's one person.
Well, it's not
so
a
it's
person.
just one. It's just
It's
one.
just
Then
one. It's just
okay. So when you
one
give
thing.
it to me like that, then it's just one. Then I don't. Then there's Saint. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Then
it's
there's
just
no
one.
question of.
It's just one. Yeah.
So then let me ask you this:
No, I might not have an answer. I might not
No,
have
that's
an answer.
fine. But my question now is: when Jesus comes back,
Okay.
you get to heaven.
All right.
Are you only gonna just see one, or you gonna see Jesus sitting there? You gonna see God sitting here, and you gonna see this Holy Spirit sitting here?
We gonna hope and pray I get there.
You gonna see one,
so I can see.
Because that's what's confusing me. If that's the case, if this was
You
whole
got
time,
God
you'd have
the
minimized
Father,
yourself.
you got God the Son, and you got God the Holy Spirit, but it's all one. I'm gonna have to show you this thing that I'm saying. This is a side note just for me and you right here.
Please, we're gonna talk about this later.
We gotta talk about this too. Yeah.
Because I don't get that. So he might have been there. He might have been. I just am confused about how it happened. If the story of Jesus is really how it happened, if it is just given to you in that way because it sounded good to say it this way and it's so supernatural. I don't know. I'm not saying it never, like this person whose name was, I believe, Yahshua.
That's our Hebrew Jesus.
If that's the case, I mean, you down here a couple names in one, because you got all kind of names down here too. Like, so that's neither here nor there. And I know that's because many people speak different languages. And so you got different names all over the place. But if you go somewhere, or say you met a foreign person, someone who spoke a different language.
Okay.
And they asked you your name.
Right.
And you told them Kirsten.
Okay.
But what if they said Tamila Lata?
Right.
You're gonna say, no, and they call Tamila Lata. Are you gonna just go with it because that's what they call? Or are you just gonna help them pronounce it? Okay, say Kier.
But Kirsten would be my name in English.
Stop.
The way you interpret it,
but still.
What you mean?
I'm saying, could you not help somebody pronounce your name? So if you got somebody in English and they pronounce your name wrong, would you not correct them?
Yeah,
that could just be the way. So why correct them and you wouldn't correct somebody else? Because I didn't tell you to give no interpretation of my name. My name is, because if you can learn English and you can learn other words in English to communicate to people in English, then you can very well say my name in English.
So I think because Jesus is Jesus in English. Yahshua is Jesus in Hebrew. If I'm correct, y'all can tell.
I'm just saying, why didn't the one name, whoever you are?
Because it's a different language. It's different syllables. It's a whole different tongue. And they interpret it per whatever their alphabet or phonics or whatever it is in that language.
So I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is if we can learn other languages and learn to pronounce it, regardless if it's your tongue or not,
Okay.
then you can learn to say my name, especially if it's a holy one, throughout this life. But this is just my questions, guys.
Okay.
I'm not being like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying these are the kind of questions that I have. That's all. Like, but yeah, that's what I want to know. But the question was, do you believe? What I'm saying is I don't fully, at this point in my life, understand the 3 in 1. I don't believe that I ever have. And I don't know that the story of Christ happened the way that it's been said to happen. So that's where I am.
Have you gone back? Because I can't say if you've completely dismissed the Bible or dismissed any of these stories, but have you gone back to reference it and do a compare and contrast in whatever it is? Hold on. Have you done that to figure out if it is true or not? Have you done that?
Compare and contrast of what?
Of whatever it is you may believe or not, as far in reference to the story of Jesus.
Yeah, I have. And I've talked to a bunch of people about it. I done talked to pastor friends about it. I done talked to everybody about it. And for me, it boils down to, it's because it is so.
No, I don't want that. Can't nobody. No, I don't want that. Now I don't. I definitely don't want that
because it is. It just is so.
That's not okay.
I don't want that. No. So for me, I need it broken down. And at this point in my life, I have completely. If y'all can't hear it by now, I have completely done away with everything I've ever been taught, and I'm starting from scratch. And I'm choosing to question everything. I'm choosing to question everything.
And I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome because I think that's where the growth starts and the understanding starts and figuring out like, what is this? But I don't know that you should completely do away with what it is. You just need proof. You need to know that this is true.
I need proof.
Saying? Yeah,
I do need proof. I haven't done away with anything for like all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But some stuff is on its way out of here.
Some stuff is
totally and never to look back again. But it's a few things on the get boot list. I'm gonna check you out once more and again, and then you're out of here because I don't have time. I feel like we have definitely been lied to a lot, whether it was intentionally or just not knowingly. We have definitely been lied to, and we have been.
I want you to hold that. Don't you get rid of that.
Go.
I want to read these.
Read them.
Somebody said, God is a holy God. 3 in 1 example. Candace, you are a mother, a wife, and a daughter. Too much to text, but the Trinity. You saying that you're all of those things, but you're Candace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's my thing. That's my whole thing. So when it's all said and done, when it's all over.
This is just trying to understand. This is him in reference, trying to understand what the Trinity is: God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
So really, it's just one thing.
It's God.
What I'm gathering.
It's
God. One thing is what I'm gathering. And again, by this time, and can I ask? And who's ever saying whatever, y'all can comment. My next thing before you read that is, if that's the case, by the time he coming back to get us his last time, this time is for us to be with him. Right. Why do you need to minimize yourself again? Because by this time, whoever you coming for, and you can bust through these clouds and all your glory. Why do you need to minimize yourself again to come back and send Jesus again? If it's just that one.
Why did I almost cuss in the middle?
Why you need to be minimized again? Because at this point, we're expecting
too big for all of this.
So we're not going to see him when we get to heaven.
When we get there, we'll find out, won't we?
He too big. He gonna be too big. Y'all ain't gonna see him then either. That's too much.
Y'all ain't gonna see. It says, I feel we all need to learn a lot of things. That's why we have to see God for ourselves. I'm not going to get the same understanding. Because that's where interpretation comes in. Everybody interprets it the way.
No, that's true. That's true. That's why we're just having a conversation. This is not to convince anybody of anything. This is not to get anybody to convert one way or the other. This is just simply to say, I know I got questions. Do you?
Are you scared to ask them?
because I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore because I just feel like if it comes to a point where you're just too big, and I'm not saying that God is not, but you're too big for everything. When do you ever show yourself?
But why can't he be too big for everything?
No, I didn't say he couldn't. I said if you
Oh,
are too big for
okay.
everything, since you are, when do you ever show yourself, or do you never? In your true form, not minimizes somebody else. In your true form.
Excellent.
I did. And I was shown myself.
There you go. If that's it for you, and that's where you are, but like I said before, we got to be careful.
Listen, and I think it's the being careful that got people stuck.
Okay. That's
you almost gotta be balls to the walls out here and be just open about like, let me find out. And not be afraid of trusting yourself. See, the problem is people don't trust themselves. They're leaning and depending on something outside of themselves. And I have gotten to a place where I respect that power outside of myself, and I acknowledge it, and I am grateful to it. However, I go within, and I look within myself. I gain strength. I gain understanding. I gain all of that. And I feel like I have the power to do that.
Do you no longer believe in evil? Do you no longer believe in demons?
There's definitely evil.
Do you
There's
no
definitely
longer believe
bad
in the devil?
Stuff. There's bad stuff. Absolutely.
So you believe in the devil? You believe in evil?
I don't know if I believe it in that way though. Devil. I don't know if I believe it like that.
The devil, demons, negative. I don't know how else to say it. So that's what I'm saying. We have to be careful that some of the things we do, we are not attracting that.
There's nothing negative going on in my life. I have not attracted one negative thing. In fact, I'm blessed beyond measure. In fact, I can manifest whatever it is that I want. I can have whatever it is that I want. I am not lacking or wanting for anything.
I
feel great. I feel good. I have never attracted anything negative. I have not attracted anything negative.
I'm just,
in fact, I'm good.
I'm saying
I'm good. In fact,
like my statement before.
So that's why I'm saying to you that in what I'm doing, and this is how I know that where I am in life is not attracting the wrong things. It's just my further to you to say, I'm not attracting anything negative. In fact, I've been more free and less bondage, less feeling heavy, less heaviness on me than ever before.
Hold on. Please keep that last thing you just said. Hold on to that. I'm going to read Grace. My understanding is that it's God in three different forms. God the Father, creator of all. God the Son, God in human form. God the Holy Spirit, the spirit form of Jesus, the promise and the comfort. But it's all God. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine. I get that. But what I'm trying to say is, maybe what I'm saying is not being heard, and that's okay because I'm convinced.
No, we just trying to break down. We just want to break down the Trinity because the Trinity is like, okay, wait, is it three different people? Who am I looking for? Is it what is this? And what is that?
Still, even in that, because that's still just the biblical sense of it.
Okay,
and I still, even after all of that, don't think that's for me. It doesn't explain it for me.
Okay.
So yeah, but thank y'all so much.
No, I can get it. I can get it. Sometimes you
y'all
need more,
explaining
and you gotta get
wrong.
deeper.
You're not explaining it wrong.
I get it.
It's just that it don't click for me why something so powerful.
Why a supernatural being, God,
who created all of this stuff,
who created all of this stuff,
who created evil, who created pain, who created all this stuff, could have just not.
I think I'm confused.
You said what?
I think I'm confused.
What you confused about?
I think I'm
What are you confused about? What did I say that wasn't true? If you created all this stuff, then you had to minimize yourself because you was too big to come down here and get the people together, go through all this pain and torture.
He did
and
come
death.
down and get the people together through Jesus.
That's
the
what
flesh.
I'm saying. But I'm saying, had none of this stuff ever been created, you would have never had to did that. And we could have just been living in that garden, fancy free.
We finna go back to the garden. Here come a part 2. She finna start a part 2.
We could have just been living. We could have just been living, and you would have never had to come down here in the form of Jesus and put yourself on this cross to die for sins that could have just never even existed in the first place. See, this is where I'm at with it all.
Somebody said disobedience created evil, corruption.
So wait.
Okay, wait.
So wait.
No, wait.
Disobedience created it?
Look at the time. Because we about to go to the Garden of Eden. We about to go to the Garden of Eden.
Let me just ask this again. Let me just ask this, because the next part 2 is going to be the garden. Disobedience created evil and not God, is what you're saying. You're saying disobedience created evil and not God. God did not create evil, is what you're saying. And then if that's the case, who created disobedience? And then if that's the case, who did the disobedience? Because it was us who was disobedient, which then created evil. Does that not make you a God? Oh, so I'm out here with power enough to create evil then, huh?
I must have had way too many glasses. I don't know what we
y'all gonna have to tell me something different. So I'm not a God, but I'm out here creating disobedience and evil. I'm confused. Because who?
She's crossed her arms. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say
y'all got some explaining to do. Y'all got some explaining to do, because who created all of this?
No, they ain't got no explaining to do. We just got some reading to do. Is what it is. Because once again, let me say this just to sum all of this up. Most of the information we got, I'm just talking about growing up. I'm just talking about back in the day. This is just proof of why you have to look things up and study yourself. It's because most of the information we got from the church.
Absolutely.
The church is just terrible. I'm going to say this. The church does not go by the word of God. There have been so many things that the church has done wrong and they've tried to base it on the word of God that have not been true. So we cannot even hold some of the stuff that the church said because y'all don't even be doing it right, which is why we have to go to it ourselves, find it out ourselves, research it ourselves, discover it ourselves. We can't word of mouth from pastor, word of mouth from all that. We can't do that. No.
Can I just say one thing before we go?
Yes,
I'll say one thing, and it's right here. Okay.
Say it.
Isaiah 45:7.
Go ahead.
King James
she
version.
Referencing the Bible.
I'm referencing the Bible.
Go for it.
Okay. And I want y'all to go and look into this and for yourself and see where I'm coming from.
Look, but look into it means we looking furthermore into the word of God, not taking the word of some YouTube. But we're not gonna take the word of some YouTube because this
ain't YouTube. This is the Bible.
I'm just saying.
This ain't YouTube.
This ain't YouTube. I'm here for this piece.
But people are here for the Bible. People are here for the Bible, clearly. So what I'm saying is where I'm coming from is this says Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Okay. So, and that's your point against creating evil. So
which is why I said, if you have the power, if you're the one created and put all these things here and we're dealing with all these things, why did you ever do it? What was the point in you ever doing that, creating these things? What was the point?
My thing is that please text me that. But in reference to that, you got to go to the context of what it is he's saying too.
Right. You do.
I'm here
you have to go to the context. But what I'm saying is he's making it very clear that he created it, regardless of what context it was. whether it was because of this over here, this little piece, either way, you created it. You did that. So what I want to know is, why do you have to go through all of these hoops? And not that we here know it. We here probably don't know that. And we probably can't find that out till later. But I'm just saying, I have questions.
Somebody said, y'all need to Zoom. Y'all need to Zoom these type conversations. I love this. Great jobs. Great job. I'm just saying, this was good. Out of all that sweating, we done got on her and said what we need.
And I know everybody looking at me crazy, but I don't care.
Ain't
I have
nobody
answers.
looking at
I'm not
nobody.
just listening to what I've been told anymore. I have questions, and some things don't make sense to me no more.
Here my thing is, though, I just want to say this, and you know I love you. I love
with the love of the Lord.
I love you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to end this by saying,
yes,
we just have to be careful. I know it's cliche to hear people say, beware of false prophets. This is in the church too. Yeah. This is on YouTube. This is all of this. We have to beware of the things that we ingest. We have to guard our hearts. We have to guard our minds, and we have to make sure that what we are intaking is what's meant for us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
I also feel that being careful and never stepping outside of one thing, it's like feeding it's like a disservice or to yourself. I just feel like, I'm not in a place to just stick to one book and one book only. And that's
but you don't want your kids to be careful. If you know it's stuff out there that's just not, you just don't want your kids to have access to. Okay, and this is a whole nother conversation. This might can lead into something else. So we got to end this. If you know that there's some things out there that you just don't want your kids to see, or you just don't want
I can't control that
you just don't want your kids to hear.
I can't control that.
As their mom, you want to keep them protected from certain things. Now, of course, when they get older, they might
if I don't introduce it to them, if I don't first be the one to introduce it to them, how can they know what's the danger is when they get there? So you
telling me, so this is
when they get there,
this is just an example. This is just an example. This is just an example. So you gonna sit there in the living room with Tay and turn on a porno and say, Tay, this is sex.
No, but I can still introduce. I can still introduce sex to her. She doesn't
need to see sex. She doesn't need.
I didn't say she needs to see it. I didn't say she needs to see it, but it still needs to be introduced to her.
It
still needs to be talked about. I didn't say it had to be in that form. Everything doesn't have to go that drastic in order for you to introduce what something is and how to properly go about doing something. It doesn't have to go to the far extreme of a pornography. When you can just have a conversation with them.
I just think there are some things that.
So basically, you guys, not you, but a person would be willing to set their child up for failure and send them out into the world because you don't want to be the one to bring that up to them. Not you, but just people. You would be willing to do that?
And on that note, at 58, we're gonna tune on out of here because we'll be on here in another hour.
We are all trying to learn the truth. I see you down here. Candace, nobody is. I don't know who said that. I can't see them names.
I love y'all.
My kids are turned up in the background.
They're fine. They did real good today. I'm so proud of them. This was good. I am happy that I am able to.
Next, we starting off at the Garden of Eden. Speaking of not setting your children up for the proper success,
we're
gonna start there.
Happy
Let me write that down.
Able to even have this conversation because sometimes people ain't willing to talk about it, and we're talking about it tonight. We talked about it, and we're gonna keep on talking about it because at the end of the day, when all of this is over, we gonna find out. Are we prepared or not? Are we scared or not? Like, what are we gonna do?
This why we gotta go to the Garden of Eden. Let me write this question down. I might be wondering.
You can see it on the thing.
But is anyone curious about us questioning things that don't make sense? Is what God didn't want to happen by us partaking in the tree of life? That's exactly what.
I don't even.
You don't understand that?
I'm gonna go back. Who is this? Jeanette.
Oh, that's
Hi,
Janelle up
Hi,
top.
girl.
That to me is exactly. But we gonna our
It's
part two.
Jocelyn. Hey,
Oh,
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Thank you
Part
all.
2 is gonna go us going to that Garden of Eden and coming down to the partaking and the not preparing us and the not all of that. We getting into that next.
All right. Listen.
Because I believe
This is where we at here on Conversations. Like I said, at the end of the day, when all of this is over, when this existence of where we are in this world is over, something gonna go down.
something going down.
Mm-hmm. And that's all I got to say. You know, I'm waiting on the skies to crack, honey. But you know, thank you all for joining us tonight on Conversations, where it's lit.
We're lit.
And everything is lit. Good
We love y'all
night,
so much.
everybody.
Part two next week for me. Okay. Bye. We love y'all.
Good night.